In this section, we will talk about wireless security protocols. Wireless security is extremely important, guys. The vast majority of us connect a mobile device to a router at some point during each day. Can be a smartphone, everyone has tablets, laptops, or otherwise. Furthermore, Internet of Things devices connect to Internet using Wi-Fi anymore. They are always on and always listening and always in dire need of additional security. That is where Wi-Fi encryption steps in. There are several different ways to protect our Wi-Fi connection, but how do you know which Wi-Fi security standard is the best? So here is how. Let's start with the WPA. The most common Wi-Fi security types are WPA, WPA2 and WPA3, which is quite new. For the time the 802.11i wireless security standard was in development, WPA was used as a temporary security enhancement for web. 1 year before web was officially abandoned, WPA was formally adopted. Most modern WPA applications use a pre-shared key, most often referred to as WPA Personal, and the Temporal Key Integrity Protocol or TKIP for encryption. WPA Enterprise uses an authentication server for keys and certificates generation. WPA was a significant enhancement over web, but as the core components were made so they could be rolled out through firmware upgrades on web-enabled devices, they still relied on two exploited elements. WPA, just like web, after being put through proof of concept and applied public demonstrations, turned out to be pretty vulnerable to intrusions. The attacks that posed the most threat to the protocol were, however, not the direct ones, but those that were made on Wi-Fi protected setup auxiliary system developed to simplify the linking of devices to modern access points. Let's go ahead with the WPA-2. The 802.11i wireless security standard-based protocol was introduced in 2004, guys. And the most important improvement of WPA2 over WPA was the usage of Advanced Encryption Standard AES. AES is approved by US government to encrypting the information classified as top secret, so it must be good enough to protect home networks. At this time, the main vulnerability to WPA2 system is when attacker already has access to a secured Wi-Fi network and can gain access to certain keys to perform an attack on other devices on the network. This being said, the security suggestions for the known WPA2 vulnerabilities are mostly significant to the networks of enterprise levels and not really relevant for small home networks. Unfortunately, the possibility of attacks via the Wi-Fi protected setup WPS is still high in the current WPA2 capable access points, which is the issue with WPA2 as I explained to you. And even though breaking into a WPA2 secured networks through this hole will take anywhere around 2 to 14 hours, it is still a really security issue and WPS should be disabled, and it would be good for you if the access point firmware could be reset to a distribution not supporting WPS to entirely exclude this attack vector. Thirdly, we will take a look to WPA3 now. Protecting Wi-Fi from hackers is one of the most important tasks in cybersecurity, guys, and which is why the arrival of next generation wireless security protocol WPA3 deserves our attention. So not only is it going to keep Wi-Fi connections safer, but also it will help save you from your own security shortcomings. Here is what it offers actually, guys. Here, most importantly, it's offering a password protection. Let's start with how WPA3 will protect you at home. Specifically, it will mitigate the damage that might stem from your lazy passwords, guys. A fundamental weakness of WPA2, the current wireless security protocol that dates to 2004, is that it lets hackers deploy a so-called offline dictionary attack to guess your password. An attacker can take as many shots as they want and guessing your credentials without being on the same network, cycling through the entire dictionary and beyond in relatively short order. The other benefit comes in the event that your password gets compromised nonetheless. With this new handshake, WPA3 supports forward secrecy, meaning that any traffic that came across your transom before an outsider gained access will remain encrypted. And with WPA2, they can decrypt the old traffic as well. And also WPA3 provides safer connections, guys. When WPA2 came along in 2004, the Internet of Things had not been yet become anything close to the all-consuming security horror that it is present-day hallmark. No wonder then the WPA offered no streamlined way to safely onboard these devices to an existing Wi-Fi network. And in fact, the predominant method by which that process happens today, Wi-Fi protected setup, has had known vulnerabilities since 2011, and WPA3 provides a fix. Wi-Fi Easy Connect, as the Wi-Fi Alliance calls it, makes it easier to get wireless devices that have no screen or input mechanism onto your network. When enabled, you will simply use your smartphone to scan a QR code on your router, then scan a QR code on your printer or speaker or other IoT device, and you are set and they are securely connected. With the QR code method, you are using public key-based encryption to onboard devices that currently largely lack a simple, secure method to do so. That trend plays out also with Wi-Fi Enhanced Open, which the Wi-Fi Alliance detailed a few weeks before.